All right, number 11. This one's nice and long and huge and scary. So we got the limit as x goes to 0. We got to get rid of that x there. We're going to have to multiply this. This is 2 plus x times 2 plus x times 2 plus x minus 8. So if I multiply these two together, I get 4. 2x plus 2x would be 4x. X times x is x squared times 2 plus x minus 8. So just so you know, they are not going to grade. If you do something maybe up to the side over here, they won't grade that portion. So if you make a mistake up here and then you write it down here, they're not going to grade to see why you have a wrong number. So it kind of helps if you stay in the limits on this one. So I'm going to actually go ahead and write this in. So at least they know what I was doing. So if I make an algebraic mistake here, they at least know I have the calculus right. Does that make sense? They won't go try to track down your work on another part of the page. But if you show that step there and then you go do your algebra for this next part, I'm going to do it over here, on a different part of the page, then when you come back, they're going to be like, oh, well, they just made an algebraic error. Whereas if I go from here to my final product, they don't know what you did or where you came up with these numbers, especially if you get it wrong. All right, so I'm going to do a little box method because I prefer box method. So this is x plus 2, and then I've got x squared, 4x, 4. Just keeps things nice. So x times x squared is x cubed, x squared times 2 is 2x squared, x times 4x, 4x squared. Right? 2 times 4x would be 8x, 4 times x, 4 times 2. So this would be x cubed, 2 plus 4 would be 6x squared, 8 plus 4 is 12x plus 8. And so that's what I'm going to carry over into my problem here. So x cubed plus 6x squared plus 12x plus 8 minus 8 over x. Now notice, if you didn't have an 8 here, this has to cancel out in order for us to get rid of this x. So if this was an 8, you might go back and check your work. You could have done it completely right, and that was the purpose of the problem, or you could have made a mistake. So we're going to cancel these guys out, and when I do that, now I've got an x, 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 and I can factor out that x in the numerator and finally cancel it out of the denominator. So I'm going to pull out an x. I've got x squared plus 6x plus 12 left over x. These guys finally cancel. I can finally plug in that 0. So 0 squared plus 6 times 0 plus 12, and that is equal to 12. All right, number 12. This is a good one. Again, got to get h out of the denominator so we can plug in 0. So this is the limit. As h approaches 0, multiplying this guy out, much easier than the last one, right? We have x squared, xh plus xh is 2xh. H times h is h squared. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times h is 2h minus 3. And then distribute your negative sign to all three terms. So negative x squared minus 2x minus a minus 3 becomes positive 3 over h. All right, and so I've got x squared and negative x squared. I've got 3 and negative 3. I've got 2x and negative 2x. So that gives me the limit as h goes to 0 of 2xh plus h squared plus 2h over h. Well, what do these guys all have in common? An h, Miss Harris, an h. So it's h times 2x plus h plus 2 all over h. Finally, we get rid of the h's and we can plug in the 0. Be careful when you have these multiple variable problems. Don't plug in the 0 for x, just for h. So I have 2x plus 0 plus 2, and that's 2x plus 2. All right, what comes after this? Here are some piecewise functions, a little bit more. All right, I'm going to pause. Well, let's try to do one. I think I can fit one more in this video. If I want the overall limit of a piecewise function, then we're going to find the left-hand limit and the right-hand limit and see if they're the same. So as x approaches 2 from the left side, the limit is x approaches 2 from the right side, both of f of x. Woo! It's getting late. Here we go. All right, if I'm coming from the left-hand side, that's when x is less than 2, and I plug it into the top guy. So 2 times 2 squared minus 4 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 would be 8 minus 8, which is 0. For the right-hand limit, I'm going to plug it into the bottom one because that's when x is greater than 2. So we'd be approaching on this equation. So 4 times sine of pi times 2 over 4. So that's sine of pi half. Sine of pi over 2, pi halves. Sine of pi over 2, well remember pi over 2 is your y-axis up here, right? What's your point? 0, 1. What's the sine? Your y values is 4 times 1, it's 4. So the left-hand limit does not equal the right-hand limit, so this does not exist. All right, that's through 13. Next video will be 14.